Welcome, everybody. I have with me today Jason Stein. He is one of my favorite business coaches and consultants. He has helped me really get grounded in, just practices that help coaches and any professional actually follow their heart and step into their calling and not make marketing such a brain-racking thing, which most people struggle with. So welcome, Jason.
Thank you, Laurel. Thanks for having me. Just a couple bars on my background. You know, I started my career in the field of Chinese medicine. At a pretty young age, I became a doctor of Oriental medicine and was really treating in a hospital, one of the first hospitals in New Mexico. And I loved it, but my favorite part of the treatment was the behavior modifications and helping people achieve their wellness goals. And the more coaching I did, the more I got into coaching. And so in 2003, I became a professional certified coach and have been coaching ever since. And the topic today about creating videos to attract more clients is near and dear to my heart because I started creating videos as a coach for my population in 2007. And man, has the technology changed in the last 10, 12 years.
Can I share a little testimony here?
Yeah.
So you invited me to do video, and everybody in my community knows I'm such an introvert, but it has been a game changer.
Yeah.
People now contact me and they're like, I feel like I already know you, or that message really resonated with me. So it was just amazing.
I'm so happy because I feel like coaches, you and I are on the same page, and the world definitely needs more coaches. Mm-hmm. And coaches can use video because it's the most cost-effective way to get in touch with your audience and really build trust with them about what you're doing. And so I built a PowerPoint just to go over some of the basics, really why we don't use video, some of the stats about using video, and how we can go ahead and get started if we haven't already. And any questions, Laurel, from you before I pop that open?
No, I'm excited.
Okay, great. Here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and first share my screen. And I started using Google Slides just recently. So
I've heard of Google Slides. I haven't had a chance to check it out. So
yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So
okay, good to know.
We just have to hit this present mode. So I have to open this up a little bit more. Here we go. So I can see you, Laurel, and I can use the slides as well. And so I'm going to go ahead and just go to the next slide. And I know that your audience, Laurel, is at home, but as you watch this, if I say S-I-L-K, what does that spell, Laurel?
Silk.
And if we say it 5 times together, ready? And I invite you to do this at home. Ready? Silk.
Silk. Silk.
Silk. Silk. Silk.
Silk.
Silk.
Silk.
What does a cow drink? A cow drinks
milk.
Well,
I already knew this one.
A cow drinks water.
Oh, shoot. That is, oh my God, you got me. I was like, no, I've got this. I've got this one. That's too funny. My kids just did this to me a month ago and I still failed.
So I love these brain teasers because when we start looking at the way marketing is done today, people are inundated from the time they step out of their house, in their house, everywhere around town. We're inundated with marketing messages, and often they're not messages that we want. And so we want to learn fun ways to interrupt the brain because people are going to certain destinations they don't want to go because it's not in alignment with their goals. And you want to find a way to gently get permission to interrupt. And so the reason I use this is I'm big into marketing and brain chemistry. I really want to know how can I do this in a way that's from the heart rather than hooking people and trying to rope them in. And so when we get into this, the number one challenge that all of my clients and all the coaches that I've run into have is becoming more visible is the biggest challenge. So when we think about doing video, Laurel, what was the number one reason you weren't doing video, knowing that it was going to be effective?
just, oh yeah, it was that fear of, I'm not going to be as professional as some of the others, or whatever that was that, yeah, was getting in
So
the
there's the
way.
comparison jackals. There's the, it's not going to be good enough. I don't want to be the center of attention. There's so many reasons. And so
Yeah.
what I say is if we point here, this is really noisy, lots of chatter. What in the coaching world, I always forget the name they use. What do they use?
Oh, there's lots, but
Gremlins?
the gremlins is one.
Gremlins. And
Mm-hmm.
so if you drop down to your heart, that's where the alignment is. That's where the quiet is. And you can do videos, you can do your marketing from this place, and it can actually be fun. And so I want to talk about that today. When we get into it, videos are super helpful. They can help bring more visibility to your business. It's absolutely the most affordable way to get your message out there. It's an excellent way to gain more clients. Like I've received a lot of clients from strangers I didn't know that saw my videos month after month, year after year, and eventually became clients. And really, after getting over some of the technology hurdles, it's pretty simple to use. And it's not just about being helpful of the why, but I want to get into the stats. So when we take a look at real stats, 92% of mobile users share the videos that they're watching on their phone. So if you're creating a video in your coaching world to your audience that addresses them specifically and they like it, they're going to share it with their friend. 55% of people watch videos online every day. That is like more than half the world is watching videos every day, which is weird to think, well, what about third world countries? People in third world countries have phones all the time. So videos are being watched. Now, YouTube has over 1 billion users now.
Wow.
1 billion users. There's some other stats I haven't put down. 79% of households in the United States are on Facebook. So whether it's a Facebook Live, whether it's a YouTube video, whether it's a video that you're putting in your blog, there's lots of ways you can use the video. Now, we take a look, videos being shared, I just shared a few of them. Facebook page. Facebook had made it so simple when Facebook Live came on board how to do a video. And I would say right now, less than 5% of coaches are doing Facebook Lives.
Wow.
Now, social media, I would say less than 1% of coaches, because coaches often, LinkedIn is a great place to go and most people are on Instagram. But LinkedIn, your audience is there. Doing video on LinkedIn is like a gold mine because no one's doing them over there. And they're being watched. The other place, when I do videos, I love to download them because you can put them on your blog. And if you're updating your blog with video, it also helps with SEO on Google. So lots and
Excellent.
lots of reasons why to use video.
Great.
Now we take a look, why not use video? This is Cooper. Cooper's now 2, and Cooper is fine being visible. Like, at 5 weeks, cries, he wants milk. He fusses, he wants his diaper change. Visibility for him, no problem. We take a look at Jack. Jack was 6 at the time, he's now 11. And so really 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, they often will ask for something like ice cream. Jack was asking for a smoothie in this picture. And the first time I said no. And so what did Jack do? Well, he asked again.
Yeah.
Why not? Can I have it? Can I have it? And I'm a pretty stern parent, but on this day I was a pushover. I said yes. But there's something about this no that later in life, we start to make it mean something. In sales, when we make an invitation to someone and we offer our package or our program and someone says no, it's easy to make it about us rather than knowing that there's 1 billion people on YouTube and there's probably over 100,000 people that need our product or our service.
Yeah.
So really getting into being okay with being visible and being okay with the ask.
Yeah.
Now, I've studied this a lot, and I found that eventually something happens. Sierra's my oldest. She's 15 now. She was 13 in this picture. Around the age of 11, 12, 13, we start to learn that it's not as good to be visible. Like, we may have had that teacher where we were really excited about school and we asked too many questions and they were like, no, don't ask so many, don't be so curious.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we may have had an authority figure in our life, a mother or a father, that our energy, our aliveness was too much for them. And so they would get irritable with us. We may have had someone that had bigger expectations than we had for ourselves. So they were constantly wanting us to be more visible, where it became a responsibility and it wasn't fun for us. So this time in your life, all of a sudden, thinking about being on camera, thinking about being the center of attention becomes not fun. And we start to dull down our vibrancy, our frequency.
Yeah.
And with this, it's so easy in marketing to say, well, I'm just not comfortable. Well, yeah, you're not comfortable because someone said it was bad and wrong. And it's just not true.
Mm-hmm.
Really, the world needs your message. And the easiest way to bring that message is through video.
Yeah, absolutely. And I find people come to coaching when they're ready to, something's ready to come forward.
Now, this is my wife, 36. I won't tell you how old she is now. And the thing about my wife is she's good at everything. So my wife is a physician. She's an excellent marksman. She has a total recall in memory. So she has a auditory memory. And anything that she sets her mind to, that she masters. Normally when I work with people, I work with coaches, therapists, wellness practitioners. They're usually one of the smartest people in the room, but they hate to ask for help.
Mm.
And so my wife was in this category where don't ask for help if you can do it yourself. That was the message she was taught. And so in doing video, it was like, I don't need to be visible. I can do everything all the time. And it's not a balanced perspective. And so you want to start to swing it. Now, the truth is there's some brain chemistry going on. If we get the bottom of this slide, you see the little red spots, and it's the amygdala. And the amygdala is the fight, flight, freeze portion of the brain. And so it's not really dealing with the current situation, it's dealing with past situations to keep you safe. Now, the truth is we often in our marketing are staying safe out of fear from past experiences. It has nothing to do with the present moment. So often when explaining the amygdala, we think like if we smell smoke, we immediately look to see if there's a fire and we look for the fire exit. Now, in your brain, when you think about someone putting like a camera on you or you putting it on yourself, it may remind you of those past experiences subconsciously. And you're like, I don't do video. I don't like video. Video's not for me. And I've worked with enough people to know that that's not true. It's just the past experience coming forward.
Nice. Yeah, I remember asking my mom, like, gosh, I don't see you. You just don't have too many pictures of me as a teenager. And I took it personal. And she's like, sweetie, you would not get your picture taken.
Very common with teenagers.
Yes.
And so there's a different part of the brain. That red spot up top is the frontal lobe. And the frontal lobe is responsible for the present moment. And so when you're doing videos, you can think about, well, I'm feeling some uncomfortability, but I know that's my past experience. I have a message to share. And I know that people are struggling, and they really are. Like right now, we're in an era in living that we have the most resources for most people, especially ones that hire coaches. And we're struggling more than ever before with anxiety, with depression, with a lack of belonging. And so you have a message for these people to get out there. And by being on video and being uncomfortable, even if it's a little awkward, you're touching your audience. And here's the truth about video and audiences. Your audience wants authenticity over some slick high-end production. It's amazing when you split test commercials, like now commercials are going low budget. You'll see them online, or they'll steal videos from YouTube as a way to connect, because those big budget people know it's really about connection.
Nice.
So it's not about being perfect. It's about starting and doing your best and connecting with your audience. Some of the most powerful videos that I've seen are TED Talks, and TED Talks are usually about a personal journey or experience that also comes with challenges.
Mm-hmm. So true.
So getting started with videos. This used to be my business page. I highly recommend the easiest way is Facebook if you want to get started, because it's a really simple upload if you're going to use your phone, and you can always use your laptop or your desktop to just upload right to Facebook. For me, because I love video, I've done different challenges. Just recently, I found that my social media was getting stagnant, and I was falling in that category of doing it because I felt like it was a responsibility or I had to for my business. And that's not how I operate. It's not how I'm wired. So in December, I did 31 days of rogue acts of kindness.
Nice.
And it included video, it included memes, it included photos, and it was fun. But Facebook makes it very easy, as does LinkedIn and Instagram, to post on a regular basis. Now, if you want to get started and you've never done a video, you can always use Facebook. And you'll notice when you go to make a video, you can change the audience to only me. So see where it says public? Yours either says public or friends. Mm-hmm. And you can click that little upside down triangle and you can do only me, and it'll only share the video with you so no one else can see it.
Interesting.
So it's a way to actually start in the game without actually going public. How many times can I say actually in a sentence? So the beautiful thing, more options, you can send it only to certain people. So it's a really great way for you to experiment.
Wonderful. I didn't know that. That's great.
So I believe video is the easiest way to attract more clients. This is a client of mine, Donna Powers. Donna has a mission. She's a homeopathist, and she believes that every household in the world should have a homeopathic kit. And she's also a science wonk, so she isn't just about the energetics of medicine, but she wants medicine that also has some evidence with it. And this was called Just Remedies, How to Successfully Use Your Homeopathic Remedy Kit. I believe it was the first 24 hours, it had 825 views. So when I'm saying this is the most economic way for you to market your coaching business, it really is, because this didn't cost her anything. And 825 views might be bigger than your current mailing list. So it's a really great way to expand. Now, when we take a look, though, at even more data on this, with Donna, there was over 60 comments shared, and there were over 23 shares of the video itself. So someone watched the video, they liked it enough, they thought other people should have the information, and they shared it. There was over 800 views. I didn't go back. I should have gone back for today because I know there's over 800 now. But the result is she had 50 new signups for her course and an overall increase in newsletter signups as well.
Wonderful.
And so I'm not inviting you to do video for the sake of just doing video. You are a coach because you have a mission in life. And the way you want to touch people can have your message convert not only to more business, but a secondary gain of more money as well. So the do's. Get started. If you hate it, most people do this about things they think they hate. Well, that's not for me, that's not for me, that's not for me. And what I say is, tell me it's not for you after you've done it. And oftentimes people will do it and they're like, oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Be generous with your audience. And so what that means is I've run into coaches that are like, well, this is my secret formula, or I don't want to share this. Like, think about community education, and there's pieces that you know that you're good at that other people could really benefit, whether they become clients or not clients. Keep it simple. So how long should videos be? It really varies on your audience. My videos, I have a weekly marketing message, and it's called the Monday Morning Minute. I usually keep those videos to 120 seconds or less, so 2 minutes or less. There is an algorithm in Facebook videos. If they're 10 minutes or longer, they push it out to more people after the 10-minute time zone. If I'm talking for 10 minutes on a video that isn't a class like this, I'm boring myself, if not other people. So for me, the sweet spot is 1 to 3 minutes. For you, experiment with it. The don'ts. Don't just wing it. Like, you want to show up with a topic that you've broken down. And if Laurel, if you want to bring me back, we can talk a little bit about how to create the content.
Okay.
Forget to point to a product or service. It's oftentimes people will do videos. I made this mistake when I was a new coach. I built my newsletter up to about 300 users, and my open rate at the time was over 70%. And for 1 year, I did not have anyone seek me out through my newsletter for hiring me as a coach. And I went to a coach I trusted and I said, I don't understand this. And they said, well, you're not creating an offer. You're not inviting them to do what's next. So they are enjoying the information and they don't know that you have more that you could be doing with them. And as soon as I pointed to the service, which was a coaching program, people started coming in.
Nice.
Don't have loud noises in the background unless that's your meme. Like, if you're a parenting coach, totally okay to have kids in the background screaming. But think about your surroundings so that you are offering the material in a way that people aren't distracted or switching away because they can't hear you. It's really important because your audio is more important than your visual. That meaning your light can be changed when you edit. And even if it's dark, but they can hear you perfectly, then they'll stay tuned. If your audio has crackling or wind noise in it, or if the background's really loud, or if there's explosions going off, like, they'll click away. So the do's and don'ts. This is my family -1. We did have another baby since then. I have Sierra, Jack, Cooper, and Ziggy is now 3 months old. So if you want to connect more with me, you can contact me here, jasonstein.com/contact. If you want to do some work and you're feeling like you're not ready to make a big coaching investment, I do have a one-page marketing plan, which I feel is totally solid and worth the money. And I'm going to close this out, Laurel, and then just open it up to questions if you have any.
Okay. So one thing you mentioned is circling back to creating content. I'd love to hear what you have to say about that.
Yeah. So when you're creating content, you want to boil it down into what I call a keyhole. So most people create content from a high application, meaning that it's up here and people are kind of like, well, I kind of get what you're saying. But a keyhole is not a doorway. It's a very small laser focus. So an example of that is coaching always or often talks about transformation. And if you're talking about transformation, it's a great topic and people are interested. But if you can break that down, that's actually 1 billion different videos. So transformation in what, for whom, and why. So transformation for parents who are struggling with kids that hate school. The top 3 reasons my kid hates school and what I did about it is a great video.
Yeah, nice. And can I add to that? I learned also, in terms of content, if you aren't an expert in something, that's okay, because you can even get a favorite book and do a talk about it. talk about one section of it, or, you know, something that would relate to your audience. And I found that to be helpful too.
Yeah, you know, this comes up a lot with my clients. Like, why should I do a video when there are videos are being uploaded every second? So why should I do one when what I'm going to talk about may already be out there? And the truth is, because there's only one you.
Yeah.
And the way that you do things and the way you're delivering messages are very unique. And if you're standing up and if you're being visible, your tribe is going to eventually find you. And they're going to be grateful that you're sharing information that is shifting their day.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see, there's another question I had, and that is, what do you have to say about, let's say you get yourself out there, and whether it's a blog or a video, and then somebody leaves kind of a snarky comment. Because it does happen every now and then. I think it keeps people from posting sometimes.
Yeah. So I'll share a personal story, and that is that recently someone who was a colleague blocked me on Facebook. And it was after I made an error. Like, I said something while they were doing a Facebook Live that they took in a different context, and I wasn't able to explain myself. And when they blocked me, that original experience was similar to receiving a bad comment. It's like, I don't want you, is basically what bad comments are saying. Or you have no right to be doing what you're doing, right? And so the way I play with that is that, imagine for a moment that you're like The Rock or you're Oprah Winfrey, and like, you know, bad comments are going to come in when you're getting bigger. Now, what I did is I have a process to handle drop balls in my business. So I went through that process and I felt really good about doing it. One bad comment, or when someone unsubscribes from your video newsletter, is actually a sign that you're in the right direction. Because when you're planting a flag for your videos, people are going to be in with you or not in with you, and that's okay. Now, if you have the same person that's trolling, I would go through the steps to make sure you set your own boundaries, right? But bad comments is a sign you're getting bigger.
I love looking at it from that perspective. Great. Yeah, we had, I had somebody email me the other day saying, this video series is spammy. So this was interesting because it gave me a chance to at first, is it spammy? Let me double check. And I noticed we had had them sent out a little bit more often. So I scaled back a little bit. So it's actually, to me, ended up being good, good feedback. The delivery could have been a little bit better, but there, sometimes we can take it as a way to see, okay, am I on the right track?
Yeah, we have this mindset, especially as coaches, because we're natural born healers that want the world to be a healthier place. And so out of that essence of compassion, we tend to get a little too tender. Now, if you go back and 20 people say positive things about your video and one person gives you a negative comment, if you're human, most people will focus on the one comment. And what I would invite you to do is start to say, oh, let me get a little bit more into data where if 20 people say positive things and there's one negative comment, then I'm really on the right track because I'm helping 20 people and I'm helping that 21st person know I'm not for them.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Great. Well, anything else you think would be helpful for people to know who are just getting started?
The biggest tip I have in just get started is just get started. Like, you've been thinking for most of you about doing video for a while, or you're doing it sporadically. And I truly believe if you get some support from Laurel or me or someone on her team, that you can get better at video, and it can actually be one of your primary strategies for your coaching practice.
Yeah, nice. Well said. I do want to say before we wrap up, so you'd mentioned how simple it can be. So my phone, this is what I got. It consists of a phone, and you'd also mentioned, audio.
Yeah.
I got a simple little microphone. I think it was like $15 on Amazon. Hooks up to the phone.
Yeah.
So simple. And then I got this little tripod. Like, so easy.
Oh, yeah.
So simple. So those three things is like, boom, I'm ready to do video. And then, of course, having the background.
And I got a little tip for you on the audio. Most people will spend hours and hours on Amazon trying to find the right mic.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth is that if you have an iPhone or if you have a Galaxy or one of the newer phones, the cords that have wires, you probably have an old one lying around, and just snip off the ear part and it becomes a lapel mic, because that mic itself is really high quality.
Nice. I love the little hack. That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you having me here today.
Oh, it was a pleasure. So fun. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us and the community and all professionals. Thank you so much for all the people you are helping in the world.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you.